Yo. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn Show. Today is May the 25th, the WNBA stream. We got 4 games on the board for today, so we're not going to take a long time. We're just going to jump right into them for today. I just need to grab my notes and pull them over, and we can go ahead and get started, man. Let's jump into it. So before we look forward, we always go backwards, right? So yesterday, told you guys there was a couple things that I was leaning towards, didn't get to the window with it, and I'm glad I didn't. Paige Beckers was one, which I think Paige Beckers gets to her points, rebounds, and assists if she plays in the fourth quarter, but she did not play many minutes in the fourth quarter. Regardless, I told you guys I like the Liberty on the money line. Got a little sweaty there, especially in the third quarter. They end up going down. I think they lose the third quarter 30-13, and we double dipped. We double dipped and took the Liberty again at the end of the third quarter. Hopefully the members got that in because it was an absolute winner. They not only came back and won the game. I mean, not only just covered, the plus 6.5 that we got at the end of the third quarter, but they won the game as well. So shout out to Natasha Cloud for, click clank on Caitlin Clark yesterday. Stayed away from the other game, but 2-0 day yesterday. Needed it after getting smoked on Saturday night, on Friday night, and now we're back up to 7-4 on the season. We go up, almost 2 units. So that's where I stand right now. Hopefully you guys were able to make some money as well. Let's go through a couple comments before we jump into the 4 games on the board for today. Algina says she just went 1-0 yesterday. Good morning, Algina. Says just went 1-0 yesterday. Cash New York Liberty on the money line. That was a good game. It had me sweating. We needed it, and that's a fact. The Liberty got to do a better job of just not settling for 3-pointers. They were killing me, man. They looked just like the Boston Celtics in game 1 against the New York Knicks, just settling for 3 after 3. It made my heart hurt to watch them settle for so many threes. The way that I watched them pick apart the Indiana Fever defense in the first quarter. But, it got there. What's up, DJ? Appreciate you for tapping in. Prolific says, broom sales have increased in Indiana, Chris. What's up, man? Appreciate you, man. Says, appreciate the video. Appreciate you for sure. DT says, hit the like button for Chris, y'all. It's the least we could do for the good brother. Appreciate that, DT. It does help if you guys can hit the like button. It helps the algorithm. What's up, Mark? Says, we're rolling with Chris. I need to win, Mark. I do need to win. Q Media says, this the cap, and I'm looking forward to. Let's get it. What up, Justin? Appreciate you for tapping in. What's up, Chad? Says I made a live one. What up, guys? What up, Chad? Hope all is well with you, bro. What up, Jacob? Appreciate you for tapping in. Yeah, it was crazy yesterday, but it happens. It's all good, man. Ashton says, good morning, y'all. Becker's on the bench that much in the second half was crazy. Yeah, this is why we watch first, then we react. Because now I'm hesitant to play on Becker's. Like, I need to see what, the coach talking about after the game, because I know the first unit was not playing well. I did watch the game. First unit was not playing. I actually fell asleep on the game, but I woke up and watched it. First unit was not playing well. The bench outscored the starters, I want to say, for the Dallas Wings yesterday. But you can't leave your first round pick. Like, if you really want a chance to win the game, they end up not covering either because they end up losing by 8. You can't do that. You can't do that, man. Let's see. Ashton says everything else has been pretty good. Good weekend. Come back, though. Appreciate that. Let Them Rise is my favorite WNBA captain before I started making videos myself. Respect to you and your hard work, brother. Haven't had time to watch your videos in a while. Happy to be catching you this morning. Appreciate that, Let Them Ride. And let me know what channel you on, man. I like checking out WNBA content as well. Drop your show link, man. Let me know. Email me. DM it to me. Bitsy says, what's good, Chris? Jacquel Jones, cash points plus rebounds. That was easy. And Bree Jones double at plus 180 from 340 previous game. RIP to those odds, though. Going to be Brianna again, double at plus 105. That's a fact. Meat says, my baby Sabrina got me paid, sweat free over her points. She was cooking yesterday. She was cooking. What's up, Swish? Good morning, Ken. It's been a minute to catch you live. Good morning, Ken. Another Ken. What up, 3 times? Tony says, morning, squad. Let's have a blessed Sunday. Matt says, Scott need a win today. Let Him Ride says, I'm over here with God Boston, brother. Okay. Oh, nice. Okay. Shout out to God, man. Shout out to Guy. I got to get Guy on the show. I don't think he caps WNBA though, but got to get Guy on the show, man. I got to get Daph on the show too. All right, let's jump into it for today. So yesterday, Jax, as far as player props go, we didn't have any on the show for Jackson yesterday because those lines were inaccurate. So jaXon talked about the total between the New York Liberty and the Indiana Fever. Ended up being a loser. They barely squeaked up and over the total. I think they got to like 178. But yeah, under 173 and a half was a loser. And I almost got there too. I did think that, it would be a little bit more of a defensive game. But those are two really good offenses. Those are very elite offenses, no matter how good their defenses are. The way that they spread you out is kind of crazy. But anyway, looking forward to today. Ask jaXon what are the two best WNBA player props. It tells me that it's like Ryan Howard over her 18 and a half points, which this would be a bounce back. Ryan didn't do much yesterday in the points department, but she did have 10 assists, I think. So it says Howard has gone over this line in 100% of her games this season, which is false because she did go under yesterday. Averaging 20 points. Playing at home, Howard has shown consistency in scoring. The Sun ranked 10th in defense of rating, making this a favorable matchup. The Dream are coming off a win where Howard led the team in scoring. That is not true. They must not have pulled the lines from yesterday. The second under is actually Bree Jones under her 9.5 boards, which I don't know how much I like this one either. You know what? Let's just skip over this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's ask for a total bet. Might be a nice little bounce back. I don't like the player props here. Bree Jones under her 9.5 boards is what jaXon says. I'm gonna stay away from that. Let's just see if I can find you guys something as far as the total goes. I did bet a total too, so hopefully me and jaXon align. All right. So Connecticut Sun, Atlanta Dream, first game on the board. Under 157.5. Says the Sun are ranked 12th in net rating, struggling offensively and averaging just 70.3 points per game. The Dream are coming off a back-to-back, which could lead to some fatigue and a slow pace. Historically, teams on back-to-back tend to score fewer points. Atlanta ranks 10th in defensive rating, but their offense has been inconsistent, scoring 83 points against the winless Dallas Wings team yesterday. The Sun have failed to score more than 76 points in any game this season, and their offensive struggles are likely to continue against the Dream team that has shown defensive improvement. The total of 157.5 points aligns with the expectations of a low-scoring, grinded-out style game, especially with the Sun rest advantage and the Dream's quick turnaround. So jaXon likes under 157.5, which I think is still the current number. It is still the current number. So that's something. I want to give you guys something. I'll tell you guys how I'm thinking about betting that game as well. Check jaXon out. Link the show, the promo code, and the link is all that. It's in the description. So Sun and Dream. This line opened yesterday. I wrote down. I think I saw 7.5, 8. I wrote down 8 in my notes, and the total opened 159. The money is coming in on the under. The spread has gotten larger in favor of the Dream. So we got to start with the injury report first. I want to say, let me just double check. I wrote in my notes that Lindsay Allen was out. Yes, she is out. And she's the only player for Connecticut. Atlanta could release their injury report. I'm not sure how it works in WNBA, but I'm guessing they still can release their injury report late. This is a 3 o'clock start time game, a standalone game, the only game that stands alone today. All the other games start at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time because the NBA is stupid with the way that they logistically schedule their games, and it infuriates me. Anyway, so getting back into the game, on the Atlanta side of things, Pau did get hurt yesterday. She did not come back. I think it was a facial injury. I forgot exactly what it was, but she got hurt. She didn't come back. Jordan Canada still be out as well. So, the way I'll be quick on this one. The way I kind of see, that's the injury report. The way I kind of see Connecticut, a Connecticut team that's coming off 1 day's rest. They're 0-3 straight up, 1-2 against the spread, but the cover actually did come on the road against Minnesota on Friday. If you can cover against Minnesota, I kind of feel like you can cover against Atlanta. This Atlanta team has been very Jekyll and Hyde. They're 2-2 straight up, 2-2 against the spread. Not only is this the second leg of a back-to-back game for them because they did play against the Wings yesterday, but it's also a third game in 4 nights for them. All 3 of their games have been played at home, though, so I guess you could take that into consideration, favor them a little bit. Looking at the spot, right, because you don't see a lot of back-to-backs in the WNBA. You definitely don't see a lot of third game in 4 nights either. Atlanta is 6-13 straight up and against the spread when they're playing unrested in their franchise's history. Only 2-6 against the spread if they're unrested as a favorite. So of course this is all the data, right? But the reason why I looked that up and wanted to share that is because I don't think it's a favorable spot at all. Last season, the games were 7-1 to the over if it featured an unrested favorite, which of course this game does with the Atlanta Dream. 4-4 straight up and against the number last season, so not a lot to really go through there. I'll tell you guys how I want to play it. So First thing that jumps out to me is I know Connecticut's offense is god awful, probably the worst offensive rated team. But their team total was 73 and a half last night when I was looking, well, actually yesterday on DraftKings, 73 and a half. I think it's a little bit too low, man. Atlanta isn't a great defensive team, and they'll probably want to play fast, which should increase the opportunities for the Connecticut Sun to also be able to score. I know that the offense has been bad. They only got the 85. They did get the 85 points against the the Washington Mystics in game one. And then they played two games against, in my opinion, probably the better defensive teams in the league, Minnesota. And that was before playing the Aces, who were fired up coming off that opening day loss against the Liberty. So I kind of feel like Atlanta will play around with their food in this game. I kind of think Connecticut should be able to score the ball. Here's the pivot, though, and this is why I haven't made the play yet. So the pivot, in my opinion, would be Connecticut first half team total. And the reason why is because when I go in and I look at the numbers, I probably should have screenshotted this and added it. The Connecticut Sun are averaging 40 points in the first half throughout their first three games. And this, of course, is a super small sample size. They're averaging just 33 points in the second half. And this is typical of bad teams, right? You come out, you throw the first punch, and then you can't sustain it. They lost the double-digit lead against the Minnesota Lynx in the last game, and that was a very winnable game for them. Just 16.7 points in the fourth quarter because they run out of gas. They're losing the fourth quarter by an average of 6 points per game. I know Atlanta's in a fatigue spot, but I kind of feel like I don't want to trust Connecticut for the full game here because they will run out of gas. Maybe even Connecticut first quarter against the spread. They're +1 in the first quarter so far this season, and they're losing each and every other quarter by 4 points or more. I think it's 4 in the second, 4 in the third, and then 6 in the fourth quarter. So Connecticut, I think, what's the first quarter spread? I kind of feel like they can keep the game close early. It's a big talent discrepancy, but if I can get a +3.5, I think that's the way that I would play it. Connecticut first quarter +3.5 is available on FanDuel and Caesars right now. That's the way that I would play it. Connecticut first quarter. I'm just kind of letting this line get as big as it can get. I still just don't want to lay a lot of points with the Dream, especially Pow doesn't play. A little bit of a fatigue spot. I watched Connecticut's offense get a little bit better against Minnesota. I watched Marina Mabry finally come into play. And I just don't trust Atlanta, especially laying this big of a number. So +3.5 would be my recommendation, first quarter, or Connecticut first half team total over, which let's see what that first half team total is real quick. Let's see. 36.5 -128 on DraftKings. I think that they can get to 37 points in the first half. And then if they wet the bed in the second half, which is something that we've seen, who cares, right? Over 36.5 would be my recommendation. I didn't really look into player props, but I'll go through the comments and see what you guys are thinking about player props here. Let's do just that. Let's go to a couple comments real quick, see what you guys are thinking here. Let's see. Where did I start off at? What up, Marv? Hope all is well with you. Ken says, what's up? We're back to back in the W. Chad says, any idea when Parker Tyus and Gustafson come back for the Aces? No idea about Gustafson, Chad. I think Cheyenne Parker Tyus is going to be out for a little minute, though. I think I read something. I can't even remember what it was, though, so I don't want to just tell you anything, though. Dream Team total over 83, Q Media says. I don't know, man. I don't know. I watched Connecticut's defense play pretty good against the Minnesota Lynx in that last game. You got Tina Charles, playing against team that she played for last season as well. If Marina Mabry can show up and knock down some shots, man, let's see. The Sun gave up. I kind of agree with the under. The Sun gave up 76 points to the Lynx. 76 points to the Lynx. They can hold the Lynx. I think they can hold Atlanta too. I don't think I would play team total over Community, but best of luck, man. LJ says Bree Jones over 9.5 boards at +106, 10 plus rebounds in all 4 games. Better Sean Riss says, what's good, Pastor Chris? Chris. Hope you got that good work from that good word from God Almighty today, and hope that we all get some wins. Yeah, we need all that, man. Chad says Dream first half for me -4.5. Sun are that bad. kind of disagree, Chad. I kind of disagree, man. I think the Sun early would be the way that I would play it, but still need a little bit more of a sample size. Jacob likes Marina Mabry, 15 plus points. Cuppa Joe says, good morning. On Tina Charles over her 14 and a half points today. Parker Tice is pregnant. Let's see. 777 says, I advise stay away from first half props. I went Sparks first half money line against the Valkyries thinking it was 100% lock. Guess what happened? So nothing ever is 100% lock, 777, especially with the volatility of the WNBA. So never, ever think that, a lock. Absolutely not. Griner had 15 and 8 last game. All right, cool. We did a pretty good job there. I probably spent way too much time thinking about this game, but first quarter plus 3.5 for Connecticut would be the way that I would play it. I also think that they could cover the full game too. I'm not into laying points with the Atlanta Dream. I know that they covered last game. This number is up to 10.5 now. I may end up on Atlanta plus the 10.5, honestly too. I see a 10.5 right now on ESPN Bet. Can't lay that many points. I can't lay that many points for Atlanta. That's just my thought process. Let's go to the next one. Next one is the Chicago Sky and the Los Angeles Sparks. This line opened at a 1.5. I think it was 1.5 or a half a point or something like that. And it quickly got bet up to 4, 3.5, 4, and now it's all the way up to 5.5. This was another one. I saw this. It's actually up to 6 on a couple books. This was another one I saw. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I can't get there with laying points with the Sparks right now either. We look at the injury report. The Chicago Sky. Let's just double check it real quick and make sure that Haley didn't get ruled out, because that would scare me. Okay, she is still listed as questionable. So Haley Van is questionable with an ankle injury. That means a lot, in my opinion. She's somebody that came off the bench and played big minutes in that last game at the guard position, because they need guards. When I think about Chicago, I always tell you guys, Courtney Vandersloot is like having Al Horford, in my opinion. Kia Nurse, super up and down type player. But let's get back to the injury report. So Rickea Jackson is still out. Ray Burrell is still out. No Cameron Brink, of course. Mariah Jefferson remains out for the Chicago side of things as well. Haley Van Lith, I think, means a lot in this game. If she plays, I kind of want to be on the Sky. The Sky, I know, are not great. A lot of people going to want to fade them. I understand it. They're 0-2 straight up, 0-2 against the spread so far. Got absolutely smoked. But if you want to give them some credit and look at it from an objective perspective, they played against two of probably the best 3 or 4 teams in the WNBA so far. They got smoked on opening day in Indiana, of course, to the Fever. We saw how good the Fever were yesterday against the Liberty. And then they got smoked by the Liberty, who are the defending champions. They got a one-day rest advantage here as well. When I look at this Sparks team, they're just 1-3 straight up, 0-2 in their 2 home games. They just lost to the Valkyries at the crib. And that was after beating the Valkyries the other day. So, 3 straight losses for them now after, beating the Valkyries in the first game. They did cover 2 of their first 4 games. But 3 straight losses, like I said, after beating the Valkyries in their first game. This is their second straight home game. I don't know, man. I can't get there with the Sparks. I talked about liking them in their last game, thinking that they would, roll over the Valkyries as well. I think, Chicago, like I said, they have played some really good teams so far. The more and more I thought about the game, the more and more I thought this was probably an over spot, and the total has moved in that direction. I saw this as low as 159.5. Now it's up to 161.5. 162 is consensus. And I agree. I think if I had to play it, I would just play the total. I don't believe in neither one of these defenses right now. Neither of these teams have been able to stop anybody. The Sparks, and I guess I give more credit to Chicago, because Chicago at least has played against 2 of the better offensive teams in the WNBA, against the Liberty and against the Indiana Fever. But the Sparks gave up 89 points to Minnesota. They gave up and to Phoenix, and then 82 to the Valkyries. So all 3 of their opponents in their last 3 games have gone up and over their team total. That being the Sparks defense, which is why I can't lay points with them. And the Sky gave up 93 and 99 to Indiana and New York. So it's over or nothing for me. Maybe I get there with an over 161.5. I can't lay points with the Sparks though. Chicago, I think this could be a buy low spot. Also, the other thing I failed to mention, Chicago's actually, and I know sometimes you can take this with a grain of salt, but Chicago's actually beating the Sparks 6 straight times, dating all the way back to 2023 season. They've covered all 6 spreads as well. 8-2, I think, in their last 10 games against the Sparks. So for whatever reason, sometimes a team just owns a team. That could be a part of it. I wouldn't be laying points with the Sparks, though. I can't do it. Let's see what you guys are thinking about this one. I still want a little bit more data, but I think it could be a buy low spot on the Sparks here. That's on the Chicago Sky. That's the only way that I would bet it. Let's see. Shakia, I think is how you pronounce that. Says the books don't know how the Sparks could possibly be the worst team in the W. Game opened at 1.5. Now up to 4.5, fading them until further notice. Sprinkle Sparks by 11 plus at plus 290. That's plus 175 now. So thinking that the Sparks are gonna smoke the Sky, and I just slightly disagree. I think the more I was looking into it, the Sparks are not a team that protect the basketball a lot, but the Sky not a team that protect the basketball a lot, but the Sparks don't force a lot of turnovers. I think both of these teams could get out and run as well, which is why I like the over. Ken says, I like the first half over for the Sun. Okay. Chad says full game. I would take the Sun with Dream playing yesterday. Back door will be open, but first half still in rhythm. I'll take them. Okay. Angel over her McBoards is money. I didn't even look into that, Tony. Dom says Vandersloot under her 5.5 assists. Chad says haven't bet it and it's ugly as hell, but if I can get a 8 or 9 live with the Sky, I'm on it. Can't lay with the Sparks right now, man. I listened to both post-game interviews. I listened to Tyler Marsh. I'm not sure what the Sparks coach name is, but I listened to her. Listened to De'Erica Hamby. I listened to Courtney Vandersloot. Like both sides, and that's why I couldn't get there on anything early in this game, because both teams are coming off a very lackluster performance. Chicago got smoked, but like I said, they got smoked by a good team. The Sparks got smoked as well, especially in that second quarter. I think they scored like 8 points. The Valkyries, the second best defensive team in the NBA, in the WNBA, behooves me. But yeah, if you can't get it there with the Valkyries, I think, Chicago got all incentive to play hard as well. It's one of the reasons why I couldn't gauge this game from a beginning perspective. Ken says he'll go Sky first half. Yeah, she hasn't been ruled out yet, though. She has not been ruled out yet, Chad. And that's one of the things I'm waiting for, because she's going to play big minutes. Coach Marsh talked her up a lot, and her ability to come in and run the offense. Kind of like Chicago Sky got to spread the floor a little bit more, man. Ariel Atkins not going to be able to get those 3-point shots, and Kia Nurse not either. So I think there's some matchup advantages for Chicago in this spot. Like they don't get a great big on the other side, right? Chicago had to, play against Jacko Jones and Brianna Stewart. And then they also had to go against Aaliyah Boston in their first 2 matchups. Now you got De'Erica Hamby and Azurá Stevens. Not that they aren't great offensive players, but defensive lackluster defense. Angel Reese could have a big game. Cardoso could have a big game, in my opinion, here. Let's see. What else y'all saying? Lover says, I don't like this game. Boogie says, Sparks, low-key bad. Losing the Golden State points with the Sky might be the sneaky play today. And that's a fact. I'm not laying points with the Sparks, man. Blake says the Sky wasn't thinking when they didn't re-sign Carter. Hard for me to take the Sky right now. I understand it, man. A lot of variance in the W, though. Don't say I didn't tell you that. Tony says they're going to feed the big Camilla, or however you spell it. Yeah, they absolutely should. This is a big step down in class, man. I understand this guy has been terrible. It's a big step down in class, though. When you go from playing the Fever and the Liberty to the Sparks, yeah, man. Yeah. We'll see how it goes, though. But I'm not touching the Sparks on point, laying points. Let's get into a game I did bet. I bet this one. So we got the Aces and the Seattle Storm. Quick on the injury report. The Aces have just Meg Gustafson and Cheyenne Parker-Tyus on the injury report. Seattle has nobody on the injury report. So those players for the Aces have not played in the first couple games of the season anyway. So we got a Aces team that's 2-1 straight up so far, 1-2 against the spread. They are, one thing I noticed when I was looking into this game, the Aces don't play again until the 30th. So they have a lot of time in between. The 30th is not until when? Until Friday. So they got a lot of time. They don't play again until next Friday. Seattle plays again on Tuesday. So Seattle, I think they play Phoenix coming up. For the Seattle Storm, second straight home game. They've won back-to-back games after losing their season opener against the Phoenix Mercury. The Aces have beaten the Seattle team 5 straight times and 9 out of the last 10 straight games, which may be indicative of why the spread's going up. This was at 4.5 when I saw it last night. Sharp money came in on early money came in on Seattle, knocked this down to 4. Now it's all the way back up to 5.5. The total in this game I saw 163 open. Everybody else had 162.5. And immediately I thought to myself, okay, I like the under. I was going through it. I'm told you guys I'm getting my model set up. So I'm not just guesstimating, and I'm, being able to look at the numbers now that we have a little bit more data. And I ultimately landed on the Aces team total under. It was 83.5 last night. And I kind of said, let's just see where it goes. I woke up this morning, it was 82.5 and it was plus 100. So that's what I sent out to the members. I bet on the Aces not to be able to score the basketball in this game. This total is now, you can get a better number because I got the worst of the number, I want to say. Let's just double check it. The Aces team total, oh no, it's still 82.5. The Storm team total actually has gone down. So this total went up to 164, I think, and now it's been bet back down to below it open. And I agree. I do agree. So let's talk about it. First thing I want to mention from a player prop perspective is, yes, Jewel Lloyd is back. Yes, she's probably going to want to play hard against her old team that she just left. This will be her first game back in Seattle. So yes, maybe they try to feature her a little bit more in the offense. She is coming off a game winner against the Washington Mystics in an absolute letdown game. Aces got to 87 points against Connecticut in game number 2 after losing to the Liberty. They scored 78 points in game 1. Only scored 75 points against the Washington Mystics, and that was a home game, major letdown spot, especially with Brittany Sykes not being there. No Shakira Austin. Offense looked terrible. Now, do I expect Vegas to get up for this game? Absolutely. I think they'll want to win it for Jewel Lloyd, all that good stuff. But Seattle is a really good defense. Seattle has been very solid, holding each of their opponents under 82 points so far this season. That includes the fast-paced Wings team, the Mercury, who can score the basketball. They've done that twice against the Mercury. And the Aces, when I look into it, they're not shooting the ball well. Second worst shooting team in the WNBA right now. Seattle playing at the slowest pace in the league throughout their first 3 games. Aces right behind them, actually in front of them. The Aces play at the second slowest pace in their first 3 games as well. Aces, when I looked into it, where the shots coming from, third most shot attempts from the corner 3 right now, at 20 per game, and they're only shooting 28%, which is why their offense has struggled. That's the 4th lowest percentage out of the 13 teams in the W. Seattle, second best 3-point defensive team from the corner specifically, holding teams under 28% through their first 3 games as well. So if the Aces are going to shoot a bunch of threes, I do think that they're going to miss them. I like Seattle in this spot defensively. From a trend perspective, the Aces were 6-1 to the under last season when they were 5-point favorites or less on the road. And they averaged just 81 points per game in that spot. Their defense typically played a little bit better. And then for people who are new to team total betting, if you play a team total on the Aces in this game, and the Aces show up defensively, but their offense struggle and they still win the game, then you still win your bet, right? This can be a Aces 80 to 75 type spot, which I kind of think that the under, I don't want to play it now, but I think the full game under could also be a play. I don't trust Seattle's offense quite yet. They only got the 77 points against the Mercury in their last game, 77 to 70. So I did bet the Aces team total under 82.5. You can still get a minus 105. We'll see how it goes. It's the one thing that really stood out to me the most of everything that I played, everything that I liked today. So that's my play for today and the one that I like the most. Let's see what you guys are thinking, and we'll go over to that Washington Mystics and Phoenix Mercury game. Skylar over her 18.5 points, LJ says. I think it might be difficult for her to get 18.5 today. Let's see. Let 'em ride says little 2-leg parlay, Sky plus 11.5 with an all over 156 sitting at minus 110 on DraftKings. Yeah, I think that's money. I like that. Let 'em ride. I do like that. John Dom says he played the under 162 and Asia under her points, rebounds, and assists. Asia should have her hands full today. Some of those guards are gonna have to step up. Jackie Young, who probably end up drawing Gabby, in my opinion. Gabby's a above average defender. Asia Wilson, is going to have Ezzy. She's also going to have to deal with, NECA. There's some pretty good defenders on the Seattle team for sure, which is why when I think about pace, I think about numbers, I think the Aces do struggle to score. DJ says, Jewel Lloyd, revenge game over 1.5 threes, game total over 160.5. So he's thinking a little bit of opposite. Let him ride, says Lloyd, revenge as well. I love it, says he likes Asia Wilson double-double. Bitsy says Skylar looking like old Skylar and Books getting slow to it. Skylar over 18.5 points, sprinkle on a double-double. Chad says play of the day, got 3.5 on Aces. Love it. So he thinks that they smoke the Seattle Storm. Switch says he likes Plum under 28.5 points and assists, and Skylar over 7.5 assists. Love it says live bet this money for me on Sunday. I will be sending out some live looks for sure. So far we only 1-1 on live bets, but it's a lot of season left. I'm excited for the live bets. We cashed the easy one yesterday. I love it. Cup of Joe says I love the plus 6.5 at the crib for Seattle. Me too, man. Me too. Amanda says, let's get it. I'm new here. Appreciate you for tapping in, Amanda. Cash some tickets, man. Ken says he played the Aces minus 5.5 as well. I think that the Seattle Storm defense will show up, man. So I'm staying off the spread, but I kind of want to get there with Seattle plus the points as well. I think the Aces can win this game. I do think that they'll be, I think you'll get their best effort. They won't look like they did against the Washington Mystics. That was a super flat spot, letdown spot. Becky Hammond talked about it after the game. So I'm expecting them to turn up. I just think that, they could win and Seattle can struggle to score the basketball as well, which is why I played the team total under. All right, I think it's one more game left. Let's just double check. Yeah, let's go over to that last game, which is the Mystics and the Mercury. The Slime is at 5.5. 5. Yeah, still at 5. So it actually opened 7.5, and I saw this down all the way to 3.5. So a lot of money came in on the Mystics, and I think the reason why is because if you look at the injury report, even though Shakira Austin is rolled out, she'll miss her second straight game with concussion protocol. But Brittany Sykes is upgraded to questionable. She missed that game against the Aces last game. And then Aaliyah Edwards is now back. And anybody know, Aaliyah Edwards absolutely dominated Unravel, looked like one of the better players in the league. So having her back, to go with Kiki Irfin and Citron and, some of those guards that they have, like, it could be impactful for sure. On the opposite side for the Phoenix Mercury, they'll still be without Natasha Mack, who hasn't played yet this season, Clea Copper, who hasn't played yet this season, and then Makana, I think is how you pronounce her name. She is questionable with a left knee injury, so we'll see if she actually plays in this game or not. All right, so this is a tough one, man. I kind of feel like I still don't know what the Mercury are. Like I talked about them, in the last game, wanting to see how they played on the road in Seattle. They ended up not covering that 6.5 point spread, ended up losing the game, but they did play hard early. I think they covered the first quarter, covered the first half. I just don't know what to do with this one. I don't like the spot for the Mystics either. And I don't, as much as I want to take the points with the Mystics, they are a team that fights hard. They have covered, almost they took the Aces to the brink the other day, but now you got to factor in that X factor that is the home crowd of the Phoenix Mercury. If we look at the Mystics real quick, they are 2-1, 2-2 straight up, 3-1 against the number. The reason why I don't like it as much is the last game of a 4-game road trip. So they was in Connecticut, then they played the Valkyries, then they played the Aces. Now they're in Phoenix. I don't know what to do with this game, man. This is one where I just really don't know what to do. Yeah, I don't know what to do with this one, man. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't know. Like, I can see the Mystics running out of gas late and Mercury kind of pulling away, especially with the, it being a very interesting spot for the Mystics. The Mystics do have some rookies on that team that just go hard, though. So I couldn't talk anybody off there. I struggle to see how Alyssa Thomas is going to be stopped just because, with no Shakira Austin, I don't think Big Mama Steph and Kiki going to be able to slow her down. I think about Satu Sabli and what she can do and what she brings to the table. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess I also lean towards the over. I don't know what to do with this game, if I'll be honest with you guys. Let's see if y'all got any thoughts on it. This is the one that's the trickiest to me of all of them. Let's see. Let him rise. Says he'll take the Mystics. They look good. Them rookies are dogs. I got plus 5.5. Want to look into player props for Citron and Kiki. Yeah, we can look at those. They have been hooping. Both of them been hooping. Phoenix Knights in the Valley. That's a fact. One of the reasons I don't really want to bet against them at the crib. If we look at that real quick, the Mercury are 1-1. They didn't cover against the Sparks in their last game. They were laying 5.5, which is very symbolic of today's line. We'll see how that goes. Chad says when Sabley and Thomas on the floor, Mercury are devastating, but it's just AT. Mystics will make up the ground if needed. So I think that's a cover. I can see that. Lover says, got to ride with the Mercury. Kiki getting my coin. Satu not getting into foul trouble, taking both overs. I'm digging the Mercury and love the over. And I'm with you, Dom. Stay away from me too, man. Maybe something live, but I kind of want to see. I need to see. I don't got a good feel for the Mercury yet. Like, I don't know, man. I know the X Factor is real, though. I do know that. Boogie says it was money in the NBA fading teams on them long road trips, but it's still so early. And I agree. I do agree. I think, and that's another reason why I don't really know what to do with this one. It's typically a phase spot. Mystics played hard in that last game against the Aces. I can see them running out of gas. You got the home crowd, last game of the road trip. I kind of don't want to lay with the Mercury. I don't, man. Ken says Mystics has been showing out on the spread. I like that hustle. I got the Mystics plus 5. I do think that Aaliyah Edwards being back is going to be helpful. I'm not sure what that does for Kiki's props because Aaliyah Edwards is going to come in my opinion, and take a lot of shots. We'll see what form she's in, but I think having her back is going to help. If Brittany Sykes plays, I do think the Mystics are live to definitely cover this spread because they got a nice young core. Man, I can't wait to get to DC. I'm going to DC. I'm gonna catch the Aces game. I'm taking my son to the Kid Day game, and if you're in DC, Maryland, like definitely, I'll talk about it a little bit more as we get closer. But yeah, it's an annual ritual that me and my son go to the Camp Day game for the Mystics. So pull up on me, man, if you guys are interested. If you're in the the DMV, the Maryland area, Northern Virginia, that type of thing. But I'm gonna go a couple times to see the Mystics play, and that is way better than I keep saying this, but it's way better than watching the Wizards play. All right, let's get into a quick recap. I did bet this Vegas team total under 83.5. If I was to put some leans up on the board for you guys, things that I'm looking at, but I have not bet, but maybe I get to the window with, it would be Connecticut first quarter plus 3.5. I think that they can keep that one within possession early. Connecticut, first half, team total over 36.5. I think this number was available on FanDuel. It would also be not laying that many points. So it'd be Atlanta plus the 10.5. I mean, sorry, not Atlanta. Connecticut plus the 10.5 in that same game. And that's that game. The next game would be the Chicago game, over. So Chicago and Sparks, I haven't seen either one of these teams lock up anybody. Chicago Sparks over 161.5 is available right now on BetMGM. And then I do think the sneaky look is on Chicago, man. Nobody gonna want Chicago today. I get it, but I think I saw 6, and those 6s didn't stay around for long. It's plus 5.5. I'm not laying points, man. I'm not laying points with them, and I don't really know what to do with the Washington game, so I'm not gonna put anything up at all. If y'all got any player props y'all want me to quickly look over or give you my thoughts on, let me know in the comments and I'll jump into those. But if not, I'm gonna get ready to get up off of here. Let's see. Marquis says I like Mystics team total under 38.5 in the first half. That makes sense with the X Factor. They typically play really good defense. Let them ride, says Kiki rebounds. She's a dog on the glass. And it is the fourth game on the road. It absolutely is. And you know, to your point, real quick, Markel, what you said here, Aaliyah Edwards coming back doesn't help. Brittany Sykes coming back doesn't help this either. If you like the under, but what does help is you know, Dream was talking about this on Friday's show. The Mystics have really struggled early in games for whatever reason, being able to score the basketball. They have really struggled. So real quick, if we just go over to Outlier really quickly, let this refresh. Looking at some of these WNBA props for today. I do, Amanda, if there's something that stands out to me. Typically, I go side total, and I try to play side and total first because WNBA is highly volatile on props. I actually like playing unders more than I like playing overs. But Bitsy says Cardoso points, so we'll look into that. I'll get into Kiki rebounds first. Let's go Kiki first. Kiki, do you love me? All right, so Kiki, her rebound prop is, whoa, man, they inflated that, 10.5. I know she has double digits in all three, but boy, is that a high number. You can see that the minutes are there, 35 in that last game against the Aces. This, to me, could be a warehouse spot. 3 straight road games, her 4th time playing, you know, a 4th road game in a row. Like, it could be a spot to potentially fade Kiki. If we look real quick, we see that the Phoenix Mercury are the best rebounding team in the WNBA. Let's just double check that. I don't know how true that is. Let's see. Advance. Let's go opponent real quick. Opponent rebounding. Nah, that's a fact. The Phoenix Mercury are the best rebounding team in the WNBA. So that makes me think sharp money may be on Kiki's under on her board, especially if her minutes come down and Aaliyah Edwards is, you know, playing that center position a little bit more. Or forward position, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I know she's going over. I would probably look at Kiki under, but that's just me. I'm a little bit of a contrarian at times. She has been hooping. She's been absolutely hooping. All right, that's my thought process there. Missy says Cardoso points, Chris. Let's go look at Cardoso real quick. I like Cardoso. I'll tell you that off the rip. I know I like Cardoso today because she hasn't done much. But I think that she could absolutely, you know, start to have an impact in this game. Look at her points, rebounds, and assists. It's 17.5. That's super low. And I get it. She's played, you know, back-to-back unders, but these are two really, I don't know how good the Fever's defense is, but I mean, she played against some really good defenses, man. What did you say? You said points, Missy. Missy said points. Okay. So points sitting at 9.5. I would only be playing Cardoso over. 21 and 23 minutes. You would like to see her, you know, play a few more minutes, but again, like I said, she doesn't get Jacquel Jones and Aaliyah Boston, 2 pretty good defenders. She got Dearica Hamby and Azare Stevens. Those, they're gonna have their hands full with Cardoso, in my opinion. Let's go back and look and see what she did last year. Look at this. 2 times last year, her rookie year, 15 and 12. In LA, she got to 11. So yeah, I think Cardoso is an over for me, Bitsy. Only way I would be looking. Alicia Gray over her points. Let's go look at Alicia real quick. Alicia Gray, my dog. I like Alicia Gray a lot. She's super country. Over her points, let's see. 16.5 coming off that 27-point game. Before that, she went under 2 straight games. This was the beginning of the season when she played against the Mystics. 25 points here. So if we go look at field goal attempts, she's shooting that ball. 16, 14, 15, 13. If Pow's not going to play, that could be even more shot attempts for her. Keep an eye on the injury report. Shooting pretty well, 63%, 50%, 33, and 31 in here against Indiana in Indiana. And Dallas, she shot 8 for 15 yesterday. Had 53 for 53%. Had 27. I'll probably stay away from her today. I definitely don't want to play her under. I think this game could be played pretty slow though. Connecticut is not a team that wants to play fast. You can see their points allowed against guards is actually number 1 too. So this would tell me to play on maybe a Bree Jones or Brittany Griner, in my opinion. I'll probably stay away. I wouldn't fade her though, but I'll probably stay away, especially with it being her third game in 4 nights. And I think Ryan Howard could potentially bounce back and have a better game. Because I think Ryan Howard had like 8 points yesterday. Let's see. Tyrese says, I played Tina Charles 8 rebounds at plus money last game. Line has moved since, but BetMGM still has a decent line. Okay. Money line lot. Appreciate you for tapping in, bro. And that'll be it, man. That will be it. I think we did a pretty good job. I like being able to answer questions as well. Sometimes y'all make me look at the game in a different way. So y'all got my thought processes. I have not played a player prop at all. But if I do, I'll send it out to the members. So make sure you guys are utilizing that link in the description. If you do want the plays, when I make them, they'll be sent to your email. And also if you want the plays, make sure you utilize the second link. It's like pretty transparent. Like the first link is to support the show. The second link is to support the show and get the plays. And they're both, very, very reasonably priced in my opinion. So yeah, short list is here. Play that I made is still available. 83.5 for the Liberty team total under. If I add anything, I will send it out to the members, and look out for the live looks as well, man. It sucks that all 3 of the games come on at 6 o'clock, but I'm gonna have all of them on, watching all of them at the same time. Resources as always are here. Check them out. jaXon, Outlier, Moneyballer, OddsJam, all those things are linked in the description, and the link for new sports books. If you guys are interested, need a new sports book, check that link out as well. Use it to sign up for whatever sports book it is that you're looking for. Best of luck on your action, man. We will be back. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Hit the like button, drop the show in the group chat, all that good stuff, man. I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'm out.